And the view from the bridge would be quite amazing. It's like no other perspective that you can have anywhere in Peachtree Corners. It would be, as we had originally said, a place unto itself. This is what the aerial view would look like. And this is the Forum side. And this is the town center side. And so walking up here, it's a sort of a circuitous route with a lot of different wonderful vantage points. And it would eventually lead either down to the sidewalk or down to the trail, which becomes the botanical garden. Then this is a possible view from the town center. And then the next thing we have for you is a 3D simulation, and this is really cool, but that's just my opinion. I'll wait for your comments in just a second. I'm going to introduce Chuck Deeb, who's going to help us with our 3D simulation. He is our bridge designer, and he will narrate the simulation for us.
We're looking again from the town center side, and we're going to take a kind of a walk up on the bridge, more like a jog, because it's going to move fairly quickly. If you're coming on the west side off where the Forum is, you're heading north quickly, and it'll move in segments, but you're turning around, walking up the ramp as you approach the west side of the bridge, just looking up at the towers, coming across the serpentine bridge, looking now into the town center. And the ramp loops around, and you're turning and looking north again. You'll see the plaza area on the left side, kind of stairs, ramps, what we call a stramp. And then you look at the waterfall, water features on the back side of the bridge approach. Continuing on the sidewalk, looking north again. View from the sidewalk level. And this is still on the east side in your town center. You're walking south up the stairs. Grand view of the tower. And back around to that same ramp, just looking over the edge at the plaza area. And these are the stairs on the Forum side, so you'll have an opportunity to take a ramp with bicycles, strollers, handicap accessibility, or take the stairs directly up to the bridge deck. Well, you first come to the sidewalk level, and then this is coming from where the town center theater is and walking up through the botanical garden area, approaching the bridge on the east side, and you're facing the west. And as you come up over the hill, you then come into the water feature and the plaza area. Now we're looking at the parking deck at the town center and walking towards the east along an elevated structure through the botanical gardens, and then ultimately we'll connect to the trail system. And this is what it might look like at a night view. The cables lit, some backlighting on the water feature. So it's a very functional amenity even in the nighttime. And this is just starting over again. So.
Okay, so who thinks that's really cool? And thanks to T.Y. Lin. This is their design. They did a phenomenal job. Yes. Questions?
I mean, it's intended to be iconic, for one, so it's really a visual statement, whether you're coming up Peachtree Parkway and you see this from a distance. And the intent is, I know I'm in Peachtree Corners now because I saw this picture in all the papers all over the country, so now I know where this is. You're on the map. But in terms of magnitude of scale, yes, it's grander than everything surrounding it, but it's not something that you're going to go to. You're going to use the bridge to get hopefully from the Forum to town center, or as you utilize the trail. The towers, the cables themselves are really just the iconic feature that makes it attractive. I hope that answered the question.
Gentleman in the back.
I know that you had some lighting up on some walls, but if I were to walk from the Forum across to town center, like on this path right here, I don't see any lights at all.
Oh, there will be. I mean, this is a concept sketch. It's a 3D animation. It's like a virtual walk, but it's not completely designed. It's just a concept. There are a lot of details here that, I mean, there has to be a way for water to drain too, but we're not going to show scuppers on this, you know. I mean, it's very early, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in that. I was more interested in walking.
Yeah.
And having light to walk.
I'm just saying there are lots of things that, you know, will have to be detailed out. The bridge designers know how to do all of those things, and at some point, you know, we're going to have our, you know, presentations on the actual drawings. You know, when they get actually designed,
Okay.
we have real construction
That was
drawings.
just my observation.
Yes, yes, sir. Width of the bridge, you have a ballpark?
Yeah, it varies. It's probably 10 foot would be minimum, but we may be looking at 12, 14, whatever's more comfortable, and we're kind of do more of a study to determine, you know, what the usage would be, because you don't want it to feel crowded, and, you know, at the same time, you don't want it to look expansively massive. So probably right now it's shown at about 14, 16 feet.
It's got to have room not just for pedestrians, but for bicycles, and they have to be able to traverse safely independently, so they're not, you know, we don't have issues with that. Yes, sir? Timeline, that's a very good question. But, you know, hopefully we'll start design development by the spring, and maybe towards the end of the year, we hope, maybe we'll be in a situation where we could get permitting. Does that seem realistic to you? Yeah. Yes.
And that's a
Yeah.
beautiful concept. I mean, it's just gorgeous the way the 3D simulation and everything. What is the financing mechanism for the bridge? How's it being financed?
Well, we're going to have to work on that as well. We haven't, again, we come to you early. We don't want to have everything figured out exactly because we obviously look for community input. So we don't have all of that worked out, but obviously this is something that the city will have to look for financing sources. Obviously SPLOST is available to us, and we have other resources as well, but we haven't identified everything. Yes, sir.
We have a cost estimate on that yet.
We don't have a cost estimate either, just because the design hasn't been finalized. Once the design is further along, we'll be able to do some cost estimates and do some calculations and get a good number, obviously. And a lot of that has to do with the way it's designed as well, not just the basic, but all of the additional things that would add costs. Yes, sir. Well, we have on the town green, we do. It's a very gentle slope, and it slopes away from the stage area. So that would be the place for performances. Yes.